The American Revolution is something that has personally inspired me, and it's something that I feel that as Americans, this story can't be told enough. The genius of our founding fathers and this incredible city that gave birth to an amazing nation is something that even gives me goosebumps now talking about it. We have so much to be thankful for these men and women that sacrifice so much for us to have our liberties and freedom. Is really important because it continues to be an important lesson and the foundation for our nation. Bluecoat represents free-thinking Americans, revolutionaries, people that want to break the mold and break out of the box. And so not only does our packaging represent that sort of very distinguished blue color representing America, it distinguishes itself from all the other British gins that are out there. The spirit itself is quite unique. It's a softer, rounder flavor profile than what's traditionally found in a London dry gin. And we were really trying to break the mold and do the American version of a traditional London dry gin. We use a 1,500-liter copper pot still made by Forsyth's, fifth-generation Scottish family that make the best stills in the world. The still itself is a one-of-a-kind, and it was designed specifically to make Bluecoat gin. So there are certain engineering and technical aspects of it that, for example, the lie arm itself is on an angle, and it gives us more reflux, which means in the end of the day, the spirit that we end up bottling is smoother and cleaner.
So we start with super neutral grain spirits and super purified water. We mix those together in our still, heat it up, add in our 50 pounds of organic botanicals, and then mix it up really well and bring that whole mixture of botanicals and alcohol and water up to a boil. Then we collect the vapor that comes off of that boiling mixture, recondense it back down into a liquid, and then make cuts depending on what part we want to keep and what part we don't want to keep. And we did some individual distillations of different botanicals to get the flavors out of them, to understand what they were going to taste like in the final spirit. We knew that we wanted to make something that was more citrus heavy, a little bit sweeter, a little bit lighter on the juniper flavors. Juniper berries that we're getting from Croatia reliably have this softer, less sort of sharp pine tree flavor. We wanted to design it more for the American palate. We had this feedback early on that people in the United States thought of gin as being very heavy pine flavor, very heavy Christmas tree flavor, and that was one of the reasons that we were hearing why people weren't necessarily big fans of gin.
Bluecoat is something that you can easily identify with. Even looking at it, you feel like you've already known it if you haven't seen it before, or it's aesthetically pleasing. And then also when you try it, especially neat out of a glass, it's 94 proof gin, but it's easy to drink. A lot of people come to the tasting room not having had any gin before, and Bluecoat is inherently different because it's subtle. The citrus really provides a body for the gin, and the juniper acts as an aromatic. So a lot of people, when they smell it, they're gonna smell like bright, sort of peppery notes and nuance of spice, but then when they taste it, it's unbelievably smooth. And the citrus really acts like a fortifying taste. I think something that Bluecoat really brings to the table is that it's fun. And a lot of people don't like gin, but they like Bluecoat. And a lot of gin lovers really love their dry gins for certain reasons, but Bluecoat is their everyday sort of gin. Bluecoat is very accessible, but it also stands up to somebody that knows that they want a martini with 2 ingredients in it. So classic cocktails like the martini or the Vesper, or personally my favorite is the Negroni. They come completed when you add Bluecoat to it.
Bluecoat's an award-winning spirit. Most important to us is the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Bluecoat has won numerous double gold medals, and we've also won the coveted Best Gin Award for Bluecoat. Storytelling is very important in spirits. We love the idea of the Bluecoats versus the Redcoats. London or British gins dominate the marketplace, so we are certainly a David and Goliath, and we are the upstart and really trying to disturb this market. Philadelphia is a city of firsts. We had the first stock market, the first bank, the first public library, the first botanical gardens, and of course the first American dry gin.